but there was more real estate, which equated to further opportunities. Once I realized what existed beyond the limitations of my environment, my desire to set and achieve bigger goals led me in the direction of my destiny, and there was no end, because the world is covered in real estate. That realization of believing I was meant to do more derived from being present throughout my journey and paying attention not only to what I needed, but also to the needs of others. If I wanted to be impactful, whatever I did had to be effective enough to be life-changing and lasting. So I began. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen quickly, because I had to be a good student, committed to the work that needed to be done, learn from the experts, and remain optimistic in my approach. But I had to identify why I wanted to be successful and what success meant to me. It took years, but what I had access to first was learning how to successfully operate a company through trial and error, and then I learned how to grow it. When my practices and foundation were unyielding and opportunities were there to fight for, I worked to help the people around me achieve success by showing them how the power of perseverance works. Refusing to quit or give up on something despite difficulties takes discipline, work ethic, patience, and passion. It's never easy, but in the long run, it's worth it, and it will definitely knock out some of the competition. In short, having perseverance created my financial independence. How? I fought hard. My past left me with the most inspiring and disheartening memories. We all have them. It's what we do with those recollections that shapes our outlook and determines our future. That's why I reflect on the experiences I've had during various stages of my life. I recall people I've met along the way and obstacles I was forced to overcome. Those encounters are what caused me to make decisions that kept me pursuing the path I traveled, and in time it all made sense. There were occasions when my decisions didn't bring what I expected to fruition. However, as though divinely created, I knew that path was mine. It was up to me to go the distance despite the barriers I was sure to stumble upon, and I had plenty. I still have them. The difference is, I don't possess a negative way of thinking. I'm an optimist. I put energy toward finding solutions that lead to positive results. If you don't see a solution, create one. The jobs I've had and businesses I've built were fun, meaningful adventures that caused me to crave more out of life. I didn't want more out of greed. I wanted more because I was confident that I was capable of obtaining it. I paid attention to details and became observant of situations and moments that inspired me to do what I love, and that was build. I didn't want to have a good job and create an income. My objective was to build properties people loved along with a successful career, which would stem from having behaviors that were congruent with my mindset. When I began this journey, I didn't have any money. I worked for everything. Starting from broke, I invested time in learning how to do things properly while understanding the reasons some things didn't work. In the process, my confidence evolved, and I became resolute in decisions I made about my future. I was determined not to fail at being successful, and developing a strong work ethic at an early age contributed to my success. Working turned out to be the litmus test that helped me realize I would never be content unless I owned my own business. Once I